Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I wanted to talk about Season 2 of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, because we actually have a teaser trailer that is out. So I want to break down the teaser trailer and sort of get into what the story is likely going to be here and just what it could mean overall for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. So before we go any further, obviously make sure you be aware that this video will contain spoilers, though I imagine by now everyone has watched the episode because, I waited all day because of obviously, everyone watches on AMC Plus, and also now it has officially released on cable. So yeah, so also definitely go and follow me on Twitch. I will be live there. I should be live as of when this episode's actually releasing. I will be probably playing some sort of game, but I also will be talking about The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon finale and all of that. So I hope to see you guys there. My channel name is Appetite for the Dead, but yeah, let's actually break down this teaser here. So this teaser was released actually like a couple of days ago, and it's kind of surprising that it was. I think it just kind of came out randomly by AMC. I think it was just released somewhere. I don't even know where online. I've just been seeing it on Twitter, but apparently it was released somewhere. And there could have been some, I don't even know, some sort of mistake with it, because obviously after finale ended, there was a teaser or like exclusive footage. I think it was a scene or something like that from from season 2 of Daryl Dixon, and I think there could have been some mistake there. I don't think this teaser is what was shown. I'm pretty sure what was shown at Comic-Con was an actual scene, so it was an exclusive scene that just sort of played out of whatever. This here, I believe, is just sort of a general teaser, but yeah, we do see Daryl here, and it's hard to say if in this scene Daryl is kind of reacting to the fact that Carol is also here with him, because the background here, it kind of looks like the ending scene, right, of season 1, where he's around the graves or whatever. It just kind of seems like it's a little similar, but I could be wrong. He almost seems a little happy with like whoever he's with, or maybe he's recognizing something, he sees something. I don't know if he's looking at Carol here. It's hard to say. In terms of how they reunite, that is going to be something that is just kind of hard to say as of now. But yeah, and then we see the next shot here. We see Laurent and Isabel, and this could be later on in episode 1 or in episode 2. I believe it's probably from one of the 2 episodes, though. I don't think this is from like later on. And there actually has been some speculation on whether or not the final scene actually has Laurent there, or if it's a hallucination scene. The way I read it was that it was a hallucination scene, because it just doesn't make that much sense to me that Laurent left the nest, followed Daryl for 2 days by himself. Because remember, it was mentioned that it was going to take 2 days for Daryl to actually, or leave the nest to get to this place here at the beach. And I just don't think it makes that much sense that Laurent actually followed Daryl all the way there. I just really, I disagree with that. The walkers didn't really look like they were going towards him either. And he just kind of stood there, and even if the walkers were slowly going towards Laurent or anything like that, like Daryl was like looking at him and just kind of like smiled, like he was kind of happy to see him. But like, I feel like if that was real, Daryl would actually run towards Laurent in that scene, because he would just be scared that Laurent was going to get like bitten by a walker or something like that. But he kind of just looks at Laurent, and he almost knows that it's a hallucination in that sense. Like, he knows that it's not really real, because I feel like in that scene, he's wanting to see Laurent there. He's hearing Laurent and seeing him there because he just wants to, because that's what he wants. He wants to actually stay. He doesn't want to go, right? Because otherwise, I'm so confused on the whole thing. It makes no sense. Like, why would anyone at the nest let Laurent go? Because now that he's missing, they're all going to be freaking out over there. Like, where did he go? Kind of thing, right? And I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. I really, honestly, I don't see it being a thing, because I really think that Daryl in season 1 or in season 2 is going to start away from the nest, and I think he just returns there, but I think he's going to run into Carol beforehand and then maybe bring Carol to the nest kind of thing. Or maybe Carol just ends up at the nest at some point. But yeah, that's how I interpreted it, though. But I know some people have been saying that I'm wrong and that Laurent was actually there because the walkers were chasing him. But it didn't really seem like they were actually chasing or like following him. It just kind of seemed like they were roaming around there. Like, I know I see a couple of them like slowly walking towards him, but there's also some that are kind of in front of those walkers walking the other way. So I just think the walkers are just generally walking around kind of thing. And I don't think he's actually really there, because again, still doesn't really make too much sense. But anyways, in this season 2 scene, we see Isabel and Laurent, and yeah, super cool scene to actually see. And yeah, we have 2 of them still together here. We do see a shot here of Carol. She's on Daryl's motorcycle, and she is going to the location of where Daryl, I guess, went to go, or I guess where he was originally captured, right? And then brought onto the boat. So Carol's investigating here. This is going to be all episode 1 stuff here. Another cool shot of Carol. She's sort of looking around. Then we have this one shot where Carol actually does go to that exact same place. So we do actually see it. So very cool. What I find really cool about it is Carol actually has Daryl's crossbow. So Daryl lost his crossbow in season 1, but we obviously still saw him with the crossbow, right? Because, I mean, we saw flashback footage, this and that. I think this is how Daryl gets his crossbow back in France. Like, I think Carol's going to bring the crossbow to Daryl. Like, I think it's kind of cool and it's kind of hilarious, but like Daryl just somehow has his vest, somehow still has his crossbow here, and yeah, we're gonna see that Carol is gonna get a bunch of information here from these people, and then yeah, obviously take off and probably gonna bring the crossbow here to Daryl. And I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see Daryl with his crossbow and all of that. I think it's going to be really amazing. We then see this shot here of Carol, and she has Daryl's crossbow right here. She meets a new character, and I believe this is probably how she gets to France. There's got to be some sort of connection here as to how she will get onto like a boat or something like that to be able to get across, because I mean, that's obviously something that we're all wondering about, right? Like, how does it make sense for her to get there? Because that was the whole thing about season 1, is how does Daryl get to France? And now we're sort of in that same place where it's like, well, how does Carol get to France, right? So I think we're gonna see why in episode 1. Again, I mentioned this in my other video, but I don't think it's gonna be a thing where in episode 5 or something we're gonna see a flashback scene to how Carol got there, much like we saw of Daryl, right? Because I think with Daryl, it was more of a mystery because there was variant walkers, and it's sort of connected with that and some of the bigger story elements there. I think with this, we're just going to see Carol. Honestly, episode 1 might really focus primarily on Carol, and we might see how she gets to France. And yeah, I think a lot of this here is all episode 1 stuff. We see a scene here of Daryl, and yeah, again, obviously he's back into the action here. This is probably, you know, this has to do with Madame Genet, I'm sure. And that's what I'm kind of excited about for season 2, is like where the story is going to go next. Like, just like, how does, you know, Madame Genet react to everything, and what is next for her and her story. Like, it's kind of exciting because I really feel like, I mean, first of all, she's going to be focusing more on the variant walkers. Like, she needs to really perfect, you know, what she's doing there. And obviously we saw in that scene, as cool as they were, there were some issues. The walkers were killing each other, and they weren't as strong as what she wanted, right? Because I think she thought that they were going to be able to do a lot more there, and they couldn't. Like, they just, again, Daryl had a hard time with the walker. It was still very impressive, obviously, but Daryl still killed the walker, and obviously that, like I said before, that one walker was actually killing the other walkers. So like that was just insane to see, because we've never seen that. We've never seen a walker kill another walker before. So, and then we have this scene right here, which I thought that was Carol at first, but I actually think that's Isabel. So yeah, it looks like we have Daryl and Isabel again together. So again, I guess they're sort of holding back on all the Daryl and Carol stuff here. A lot of what we see of Carol seems to be just like her trying to get to France kind of thing. And yeah, we see a shot here where Carol is trapped in this vehicle here, and there's just walkers everywhere. So at this point here, it looks like she could be in the same vehicle potentially as where she met that one guy, and so I'm wondering if this is kind of related here. But yeah, walkers everywhere, and Carol is trapped here. So again, it looks like how she gets to France is going to be this whole story that's told. So I just, at this point, I'm really thinking that Carol, her return to, not her return to France, but her arrival in France is going to be heavily explored in episode 1. I think she probably will be like the major story of episode 1, which I think is really cool, because this show is supposed to be about Daryl and Carol, and technically when you look at season 1, Daryl had so many scenes, right? So I think devoting one episode to Carol, I think makes a lot of sense. I think in the end there, we probably will see Carol's, you know, it might be more from Carol's perspective, where Carol's there and then she gets some clue as to where Daryl is, and maybe she actually runs into him in the end, right? So maybe we see the reunion from Carol's perspective, where we see Daryl arrive at the end kind of thing, right? And then in episode 2, you know, just focus on other stuff or whatever, and just kind of go from there. So yeah, I mean, obviously season 2 looks absolutely incredible. In terms of an actual release date, I don't think it's going to be coming out obviously early next year. I'm assuming because they haven't filmed Dead City season 2 yet, that they're likely going to release this next June. But it depends on what they have planned overall, because next year, The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live, that's going to air from, you know, at some point mid to late February all the way until like the end of March. And then they're probably going to take a break for a little bit. And then I think in June, we'll probably have Daryl Dixon. That could be 6 episodes, might go until like, you know, mid or late July or something. And then I think they're going to take a break for a little bit for The Walking Dead: Dead City season 2. to air next fall. That's what I'm assuming as of now, but there could be other projects that are going to be announced. And so I'm just curious about that overall because, you know, for me, that is something that when you're looking at just what shows are going to be out next year, it's not a lot compared to previous years. I mean, it's sort of like the main shows, I guess, right? Like we have Rick and Michonne, Daryl and Carol, Maggie and Negan. But I really feel like, you know, if you're still doing 6 episodes per season for all of those shows, then it's not a lot. You know, in total, it's going to be 18 episodes, which I guess is a little more than a full season. This year, we're going to have a total of, I guess, 24 episodes, right? Because there were 6 episodes each for Dead City and Daryl Dixon, so that's 12. And then 12 in total for Fear the Walking Dead. So that means next year, there's going to be 6 episodes less, but I guess there's also, you know, the Rick and Michonne show is also going to be out then. So I guess there's that. There could be some other spinoff that's announced. You know, we might have to wait until after Fear the Walking Dead is over. There could be something that they have set, you know, to release next fall or whatever. So then maybe Daryl Dixon season 2 or Dead City takes the same sort of, you know, September release date, and then something with another spinoff or something airs afterwards. Like, I'm just really curious as to what they have planned going forward here. And how they plan to sort of manage a lot of this, because obviously they really like, you know, The Walking Dead and stuff, and so I'm kind of curious on that. I think fans want more episodes, and so they could always just do that. I feel like instead of doing another spinoff, it's easier to just give these shows like an extra episode or two, right? Or not an extra episode, but give them like 2 extra episodes, right? Like make season 2 of Dead City and Daryl Dixon 8 episodes or maybe 10 episodes. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So I'm very, very excited for all of this. I can't wait for season 2 of Daryl Dixon. I hate that we gotta wait however long now, but we have some exciting shows to look forward to, like Fear the Walking Dead. Even though people aren't that hyped for it, I still am because I want to see how it ends. And also, I think we're going to be getting Rick and Michonne teasers throughout the next month and a half. I think at the end of November, we will get the official trailer. And then, obviously, a lot of promotion stuff for The Ones Who Live, because at that point, that is the next show to watch. And so we'll be following that so much at that point, right? So I'm excited. I can't wait for the promotion of that show. I think it's going to be so amazing because, again, I don't think they're promoting it a lot right now because the next show is Fear the Walking Dead. I think if they started promoting Rick and Michonne a lot, it's almost an insult to like Fear the Walking Dead fans because they're not promoting it that much. So I think that's why they're kind of waiting. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Make sure to post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.